Welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothy, and Venus is going to head into Cancer, and it's going to bring some sweet, lovely energy to the world and to each of our lives, depending on where this falls in your chart, based on your rising sign, sun, or moon sign. So stay tuned for that. She's going to do a couple of really beautiful grand trines in the sky, bringing flow and ease, and she's going to bring some sweetness to what I'm calling the big boom at the end of this month. Like, holy man, when Mars, Uranus, and the North Node collide together in the sign of Taurus, where they have not been for, oh my goodness, in that collision since like the time of Alexander the Great. But the thing is that Venus happens to sextile that thing at the end of the year, which is flowing, harmonious energy, bringing some kind of lemonade from what might be a difficult or challenging event or a series of events around that time. Now, we're not going to go so much into that. We're going to talk more about the two sweet triangles that are happening on August 5th and on July the 20th, because I'm going to do a much longer video about the big boom. We're going to talk about those two things with your sign. Now, when does Venus actually enter into Cancer? The cuddle puddle sign, where she's all full of soft emo and she's gentle and intuitive, and she finds pleasures in emotion. She loves a good cry. This is a good time to watch the Titanic or any of those movies that make you cry, good old, sob story, love stories. And she just likes to feel her feelings when she's in Cancer. It is a sign that is a temple of the moon. And when she's there, she's like, you have to feel it to heal it. You have to feel it to appreciate it. And she's very much about the beauty of our emotions and the beauty of our feeling senses. So keep that in mind. So pleasure is important, especially watery pleasures, things that are comforting, things that are literally near or about water, hitting the beach or something like that. So before we get going, the date that she enters is August the 17th, and the date that she leaves this once-a-year journey through Cancer this year is August 11th. So let's talk about how you may find this experience this time around based on your natal sky. We're going to do the all signs, but before we do, remember, please like and subscribe and hit my bell for notifications, because it really helps my channel grow. Second of all, I have a lot of stuff in my description box that you might enjoy. If you want to sign up for my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter, you're going to get my 2022 60-minute videos times 12 for free. This is usually for sale for $47, and I'm having a sale ends at the end of July. And you also get a 30% discount code off with any reading from me. I had somebody unsub from my weekly newsletter, 3 people recently, and it made me laugh, because the reason for unsubbing, I have about 1,200 subscribers, was too many emails from you. And I'm like, you signed up for a weekly subscription. That's what it's called, once a week. Now that I vented that one, I don't even say you don't like the content, but don't tell me it's because there's too much. It's what you signed up for. Anyway, it makes me laugh, or makes me angry. I'm an Aries, right? Okay, so it just pisses me off, actually, because it's such a stupid, like, non sequitur. Moving on. You can see that I'm teaching my Sky Reader course next fall in October. Get on the wait list for that beginner intro class to astrology. Just took 44 students through it. It was quite a lovely journey together. A lot of people made good friendships there in the astrological learning community. And then I have my Divine Timing Masterclass for intermediate astrologers coming up this September. Enrollment is now open. Description box below. You're an astrologer, haven't got your business to work, not making money doing it, you're all confused and don't know where to go. Sign up for my Rock Your Astrobiz 4-week course. I really think I could show you how to do what I did, where I got my business up and running I just started this in 2018. And yes, I do make a good income at this. I make a very, very good living, and you can do that too. Okay, so let's talk about this sky. I'm going to show you what it looks like. A lot of people really like that I did that recently on another video. So there you go. Maybe I'll keep with this format for a while. So Venus is here, sitting in the sign down below of Cancer. I took a lot of planets out. I'm just keeping the ones in that she's going to touch base with. I want you to see the sky. I want you to watch what happens and see the big picture for a second, and then we'll do the micronutia for each sign. So take a look here, guys, and take a gander at this kite, right? That's starting to form here. And this is because the moon at 5 degrees, exalted in Taurus, is in a sextile to Venus, right, in Cancer. And over here this is called the Vestal flame, has to do with where we're perseverant, dedicated, and devoted to something, or also to do with the hearth fires. So often cooking, chefing, and things that we put together for meals. And this energy, Vestal flame, the moon, ignore these guys for now, they're there for later, and Venus, right, are in this beautiful flowing blue lines called sextiles, and across from each other there's the Venus trine, the Vestal flame, and then down below Hygeia, the goddess of health. She's like hygiene, right? She's mind, body, spirit. She's often involved with allopathic and preventative and alternative medicine. So you won't believe how many doctors or nurses or clients like that I have who have Hygeia really close to their midheaven or in their sixth house of work. She's very handy that way. So you can see a kite means success. It's an aspect pattern for success. Why I think it's important is that the moon is where Venus is sitting in the moon's home, right? The moon's temple, the moon's domicile at Cancer. The moon owns this real estate. And when Venus is here, Venus wants to serve the dictates of the moon. And over here, the moon, right, is looking over from Taurus and also pretty close to Mars. So this could be the sweetening, the softening, the undoing, the sweet talking, the unraveling of conflict or tension, for one thing, or it could also be a lovely friendship that's developing here between lovers or friends who are attracted to each other. Lots of stuff that could mean. And then over here, we have Vestal flame, some kind of devotion. Now you watch this kite for a minute because you'll see that it's really dependent on the moon. So the moon moves very quickly, and a day later, as the moon moves to 17 degrees, we lose that kite. So we're really talking about kind of the July 20th, kind of, you know, in the, you know, this part of the world, North America, that you're going to feel this energy playing out, and it feels very positive, and it will be some kind of tip of the kite is where the success lies. So in the all sign, I'll talk about that. For Aries, it's in the money house. So it's a sweet little success pivot in the finances, resources, and possessions, for the Aries. Now watch how the sky moves, because we'll do all signs, but just watch the story. Alrighty. I want you to get the gist of it all for fun. This is a continuation of the kite, and you can see that now that we've lost the tip of the kite, we still have happening in this part of the sky around the 23rd of July this ongoing water trine. And water trines are flowing, easy, kind, loving. They have to do with its spirituality, enlightenment, moksha, liberation, intuition, sometimes creativity, but coming from the deep intuitive well of our being. Okay, so flowing water trine is going on in the sky on the 23rd. And then as we progress into the future, which we will, and it starts up, you can see that water trine is already here on the 21st. So it's kind of like kite on the 20th, and then afterglow on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And now the kite's weakening, and by the 25th, we still have it. We're still leaning into kite land. I mean, not kite land, I apologize. We were leaning into trine land. So we got this nice little trine all the way through until the 25th. And where I really love this trine the most, I think, is here, because this is where the moon and Venus collaborate in some kind of, you know, conspiracy of goodness for something in your in your Cancer house. Okay. And so for instance, for Aries people, it's some kind of conspiracy of goodness regarding home, real estate, property, land, where they live, you know, for example. So you can see that we really do like what Venus is doing from about the 20th to the 25th of July. Moving forward, there's the big boom at the end of the month, and I'm going to go post big boom, which is going to be around here, excuse me, here. The big boom is 18 degrees, Mars, Uranus, and down here, I hope you can see that, North Node, whole other video coming, Venus sextiling and loving it up on August 1st. Now, I'm not going to delineate that today. Stay tuned for the video just about that that's coming up before the end of the month. And then there's a kind of like a sweet ending when she's walking out of this August timeframe and leaving behind the story of her journey through Cancer. And the date for that is, oh, I meant to go to August 5th. The date for that is August 5th or so. And there we have another trine, and it's sort of a kind of a kite as well, but it's a waning kite because she's past the intensity here. So I'm really just focused on this beautiful water trine again. And this time we bring in Neptune, the god of fantasy, illusion, delusion, mysticism, enlightenment, and mysteries and magic. And we're also bringing in that moon, right? That is, you know, now in Scorpio. Yes, the moon is in her fall. However, it is still the moon having a love up with Venus. Okay, so let's get going. I think I'm going to keep it simpler. by just talking today for each sign about that July 20th through to the 25th sweet spot. That's going to keep it a little simpler, I think. We'll see how it goes, then dragging us into the future as well. So yeah, we'll do it that way. Okay, so last time people seemed to really like the way I was doing it for some reason. So I'll just continue to do it that way and let's see how that goes. Although on the other hand, you know, who knows, you know, some people say they don't prefer to look at this and it bothers them and it makes them dizzy or something. And I don't like that either. Let's not do that today. I've already showed you the pictures and we'll see how this goes in the future in terms of, I'll put a vote to the channel. Okay, I just got a signal that my internet dropped. And if this thing is all sketchy, guys, I'm so sorry. Like I literally am on 5 bars and somebody gave me a gnarly comment about my quality of my audio, and it wasn't my audio, it was the internet here cutting out. Okay, in Canada we had an internet outage. I don't know if you heard about that. Big deal. It was a big deal. I don't know if I should go reboot my modem and patch together this or just keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going and hopefully I don't get another internet slowdown warning. Okay, this is not going to be a long video. So let's get rolling and do all the signs and then get my everything queued in the back end. I apologize while I do that. And we're going to get going to, of course, we're going to start with Aries, right? All righty. So Aries, sun, moon, rising sign. What's happening for you guys is that you're going to experience this Venus transit through Cancer, a cardinal sign, through your 4th house of home and property and what goes on in your familial, private and domestic life. Now, this is positive because Venus brings pleasure, Venus brings love, Venus brings beauty. This is a great transit for redecorating your home. This is a great transit for having parties and friends and cooking and having dinners in the home. This is a great for socializing at home, within the home, near your home, you know, that kind of thing. And, you know, normally this kind of transit just feels good. Venus in the 4th house usually feels good. A friend, a female friend could come visit, or you could connect with sisters because Venus rules sisterhood in the home. And you know, this is the Kite energy on the 20th, which points at Mars in the 2nd house of money with the moon conjoined with Mars. And so what kind of success point is happening here? Some kind of yay you on July 20th, where you're feeling some kind of exquisite celebratory success in possessions and finances. For example, if you found a beautiful home that you want to lease, buy or sell, Venus in the 4th house, and the moon exalted in the 2nd house of earnings and money, this could be things like finding you got a deal of a century, a super great price, or you even secured the mortgage of the century. With Hygeia holding the bottom of that kite in your 8th house of other people's money, and she's all about healing, you might just get some really great, you know, healing, like a tax rebate that supports you financially regarding your home, or even something to do with that idea of somebody else's money giving you a real boost, a boost somehow near July 20th. Also, remember the vessel flame of sacred devotion is also on that kite, and that's going to bring you a feeling of something from your 12th house of your dreams at night, your inner life, and you know, your meditative experiences, or even foreign shores. But you may find yourself really determined to do something behind the scenes. That's another 12th house thing. What are you concocting behind the scenes, like backstage in your life, that can bring you some kind of real financial boost, but also enjoyment, pleasure, and satisfaction and comfort in the home that you're living in, or that you may be living in, if this looks like what it may be, which is opportunity for a new home or a change in home or beautification of home. Okay, so, and then in the days that follow July 20th, remember, there's this afterglow of this ongoing water trine between your 8th, 4th, and 12th houses. And therefore, money, intuition, magic, earnings, other people's money, and a sense of a flow between the water houses, the moksha houses, the traditional water houses, can open you up to some great spiritual attainment, insights, or developments, especially if you're an Aries looking for some enlightenment. We're going to keep moving on, and we're going to go next to, let me get back to the beginning of the kite. I just keep Taurus. Okay, Taurus sun, moon, and of course the rising sign people. So Taurians, you're going to have this an exquisite kite pointing at you, right at you, because Taurus is you. And this is the tip of that kite that happens on the 20th of July, and Venus and, Venus and Mars and the moon. So the Mars and the moon are co-joined in your first house of you. This can lead you to have an experience sometimes of going to battle or having to be affirmative or strong against some kind of situation, especially one that is emotional, very emotional for you, or even connected to a female. And that will happen to be around the 20th. And so don't worry, it's not a long-lived activation. It's kind of that day is kind of hot. And then you get Venus, so sweetening it up, softening it up from Cancer, the home of the moon. And that's your third house of siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, extended family, short trips, and travel. So look for something around those themes, Taurus, that even though there's this kind of potentially gnarly tension in your house of identity, where you're having to be affirmative or extra strong against some other, Hygeia in your seventh house of other people holding the bottom of the kite, you are going to somehow be able to extract some positive developments from this situation, especially if it involves a trip, short-term trip. And you've got the devotional flame of sacred devotion, that was redundant, in your 11th house of friends and allies. So what kind of perseverance and devotional energy towards supporting something you're up to in your identity could a friend or ally offer you around the time of the 21st and the 20th, I should say. And then there's this afterglow until about the 24th, 25th, in which there's a solid water trine of deep flow between your 11th house of pennies from heaven, windfalls, good spirit, friends as allies and benefactors, great gains from your career, flowing to Venus, the money goddess, in your third house. Okay, well, third house is also writing, communicating, online websites and stuff like that. Could you be making money here? Because that is a very good possibility. And also you've got a lot of flow from your seventh house, which is the marketplace, where Hygeia is sitting at the bottom of that triangle. So marketplace, audience, clients, and others that you're maybe serving in some kind of career, creating this really lovely flow state, all right, in your story. All right, I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope that is useful. And I'm going to keep moving on to the next sign, which is good old Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. Okay, Gemini folk. So for you, the energy of Venus traveling through Cancer, right? She's moving through there for quite a while, August the 17th to July 17th to August the 11th. It's really positive energy regarding your finances, your possessions, your resources, your earnings, the things that you bring in to support yourself, and usually it's our money. We just simply call it the money house. So Venus is a goddess of money in a money house. She goes through here once a year, usually like around the same time. She never gets too far from the sun. The exact dates change, but it's usually July, August. And so here you have this experience once again of peeking out in your money story where you can experience goodness, particularly on the 20th of July, because Venus will be forming a sextile to the exalted moon. And don't forget, the moon is very powerful when she is in the sign of Taurus. That's her sweet spot. So that is going to be Moon Mars energy in your 12th house. Now you can get PayPal, Stripe income from the 12th house, or barter and trade from foreign land. So this is a possibility. Or you could be doing backroom deals that could make you quite a bit of money. And the kite is pointing to the 12th house. So keeping a low, secretive, don't tell the world what you're up to vibe could be very good for you here if you're concocting some master plan for financial success around the 20th of July, and then in the afterglow until about July 25th. As well, that flowing water trine is activating the sacred flame of devotion, of something you're determined to do, you're devoted to in your career house. So this definitely looks a little bit like a career activation, where the success from the career and the money house points at 12th house things. Now, you know, I gave you the delineation of some of those ways that could play out. The kite is being held by Hygeia in the 6th house, or the trine continues with Hygeia in the 6th house. So you may be coming to some kind of healing around coworkers, workspace flow, ergonomic chair, you know, some way to support your health and or your work routines in a healing and positive way by using that Hygeia energy. Now, this is again the 20th of July when the kite starts, and July 25th, that these themes are playing out for you guys, okay? And every time Venus goes to your 2nd house, it's good for your money, but it's different every time because she makes aspects to different planets, right? Cancer, sun, moon, and Cancer rising sign. Venus is, of course, in the sign of you, and this is going to feel, as it does every year, very satisfying. You're going to feel more beautiful. You're going to feel more happy about being yourself, good about yourself. And you may find that you even are attractive and more beautiful to others than you are normally, even though you've done nothing different. People just find you genial, attractive, affable, friendly, and likable while Venus is going through your sign. You could even change your wardrobe, change your hairstyle, do things that are Venusian, change your cosmetics or something in this window of time, the 17th of July to August the 11th. That said, there is this kite forming, and the tip of the kite is that exalted Venus, exalted moon in Taurus, right? So there's a mutual reception here, which I didn't say in the beginning, which I really should have. But the moon is in Taurus's sign, and Venus's sign, and Venus is in the moon sign. And I don't know why I didn't say that, but I didn't. But everyone else is going to get the mutual reception story now. And so this exalted moon in Venus's sign, talking to Venus in the moon sign, are very, very much working together as a team. And you're going to find that something about your 11th house is going to pop around the 20th of July, where the tip of the kite is, with support from the Vestal flame in your 9th house. Foreign lands, trips and travel, court cases, higher education, all of those themes. And there's kind of like a constellating of goodness in your 11th house of good spirit. Now, you could lose a friend, cut away with a friend, moon Mars energy. Or someone in your social circles cuts away from you, but it's good for you. It actually serves you because it's all got the sweet Venus overlay. So there could be a change, Mars, of friendship circles, or a change within your larger groups of belonging, a changing of some kind of I don't know, thing, and you could really be supported by that change. The thing with Mars up here is that Mars can often look like elimination of something. So what might you eliminate in your 11th house? Cut away a dream or a hope or a wish or a goal in your life, and you really feel good about it, drop that goal. You know, a friend cuts away, or you cut away from a friend. These sorts of things will all play out, you'll see, but it feels mostly positive, and that's why we are talking about it. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign people, you are having this energy of Venus traveling through your 12th house for all of those dates. The 17th of July to August 11th happens once a year. Well, it's a really sweet time for you to go inward. Often you want to do alone downtime pleasures. You know, this is a house of bed pleasures. Venus is a goddess of love. You might do a lot of bed pleasures during the time of this transit. You might just want to be more in pleasurable solitude, or doing pleasurable activities by yourself. Leos, this is like aloneness feels good, okay? Quietude and solitude feel good right now. And so you're kind of drawing back a little bit and going inward perhaps. Now, the lovely energy around the 20th of July, where she is going to make her action involving that mutual reception from the moon in Taurus, your 10th house of career, and she's in the 12th. It could pull, especially with Mars moon, it could pull you away from work. You may take time out, tell your boss you need a break. Your boss may tell you you need a break. You may just get a go home and rest slip or something like that. And if you do, that's wonderful. The other way it could work out is a female is doing backroom negotiations to develop some new exciting, positive new direction in your career. That's another option for a lot of Leo rising, especially, but sun and moon secondarily. And last but not least, you know, you've got this beautiful Vestal flame in your 8th house of other people's money supporting you, okay, giving you some support in your career. This can be many different things, but just look for money and career mutual support in the sky, and a long-standing flow between also Hygeia in the fourth house. What kind of healing modalities between the 20th and the 25th of July might you do in your home that really support you to feel good about yourself? This feels like a very restful transit. You know, maybe deciding you're going to get a better mattress in your home, that your back isn't sore, deciding you're going to upgrade some piece of your home style, living style stuff to make you feel more enjoyable, pleasurable, and healthy. Alrighty. Because of Hygeia in the fourth house, it's like you need to make sure you're healthy at home. In fact, if there's anything wrong with your home, like toxic mold or something, you'll be getting rid of it. There's no way you're going to sustain that between the 20th of July and the 25th. You're improving the health and well-being of you at home and in your home. All right, let's keep going. And like, all right, I have, let's take a look. I'm just checking myself up. I'm even looking at the camera, but I think I am. All right, guys. Next, you're going to experience Virgo people, Virgo, sun, moon, and especially the rising sign, the energy of Venus moving through your 11th. And, you know, that's going to make you very sociable with friends. You're going to go out a lot, hang out with friends, go to group events, go to larger group oriented involvements, you know, going to a festival, going to a wedding, going to parties or whatever, but in larger social settings with larger social groups, you are having fun. And yes, that's between the July the 17th and August the 11th. You're lightening up, and women can be very positive allies for you, especially during this time. And you're also going to experience Venus in mutual reception to the exalted moon in the sign of Taurus, her sign, forming the tip of a kite in your 9th house. Now, this is good developments, positive success stories around the 20th to do with higher education, court cases, legal affairs, visas, travel, foreign land, and book publishing, as well as spirituality and religion. So take as needed what might be true for you, but that 9th house is very much a peak of success energy. With Mars there, you could also take direct action, ambition, or a new direction in some of those themes that I just mentioned. And Moon is supporting that, bringing very exalted positive developments to that 9th house. And, you know, we can go in so many good directions, really. Finally, you know, you've got the Vestal flame of devotion in the 7th house of marriage partners and business partners. Quite often, this just simply means that your partner is hopelessly devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. So you'll find that the one you're with or your business partner might be really loving you up during this window, giving you lots of good vibes and totally making you feel cherished and feeling special because of that. And if you were a single Virgo and you were looking for love, this could bring a very devotional love partner to you, but you would meet that person in larger social gatherings, festivals, large circles of people, people gathering together, all those kinds of things. And then you have the Hygeia, you know, at the bottom of that kite, where you want to heal something, be whole, be well in your 3rd house of your neighborhood, your online world, your in connection with your siblings or your extended family, like aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, that you might be trying to create wholeness there. And on the 20th, yes, you have the kite, but until the 25th, this kind of flow around gatherings, friends, pleasure, and fun in the 11th, neighborhood, especially 3rd house things, pubs and bars and restaurants, and then the Vestal flame, your loved one or your business partner loving you up. These are big themes of that July 20th to 25th. So for you Virgos, this is quite lovely. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. So Libra, guess what? You have Venus traveling through your career house once a year, and this is that time again. This is this time around, it's the 17th of July to August 11th, and you are feeling really good about your reputation in your career, and you're being supported in your work or career endeavors by women or a woman. But also you could be very popular for like a little mini pop of popularity with your colleagues, in your career space, in your professional space. You can get a promotion, advancement, or a bonus financially when Venus goes through here. A highlight, of course, is the 20th, when she's going to be helping with a kite. And the moon is the tip of the kite with Mars. That exalted moon is in the sign that belongs to Venus, and Venus is in the sign that belongs to the moon. It's called mutual reception. So they're coordinating with each other, basically. And the tip of the kite is in your 8th house. Bank loans, mortgages, tax rebates. other people's money, government monies, you know, if you win the lottery, it's money from the government. And even though fifth house is speculation, the money comes from the eighth. So there's some kind of money possibility that looks positive for you around the 20th. And then it flows until the 25th in continuous yay-you energy. That flowing energy that continues, part of it is the Vestal flame in the house of work routines and the house of health routines. And you're also getting a lot of support from the goddess of healing and health and well-being and wholeness in our health, Hygeia, in your second house of food that you put in your mouth, drinks and cigarettes that you put in, things you should or shouldn't put in your mouth, as well as the second house of earning. So a lot of this looks like flow between the money stories, obviously, eighth house, second house energies, but also career and reputation, 10th house. And lastly, with that Hygeia Vestal flame trine, for you in particular, Libra, you know, if there's something that you shouldn't be eating that's making you too tired, too tuckered, too screwed up with your energy or your health, it's time to change your food style. And because you have a South Node transit, Libra, through there, all of January, starting in January 21 to July January 22 to July of 23, letting go, releasing old earning styles, but also food styles. So a lot of you are looking at your dietary habits during this time. So Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, you are having the energy of this Venus transit, as we always do yearly, from July 17th to August 11th through your 9th house of God. Yes, God. It is a spiritual house, right? It's a Dharma house. It's our faith, our belief, it's our religious beliefs, it's a temple energy, it's pilgrimages. So Venus is pleasure. So what kind of pleasure are you experiencing because you are getting in touch with the deeper meaning of your life, or taking a trip to a foreign land? That's another meaning, or planning that trip to a foreign land of the 9th house, foreign from the place of your birth already. And you do have the experience sometimes here with Venus of finding love, if you're a single Scorpio, in and from a trip you're taking, largely to a foreign shore. So single Scorpios, get ready for love from a foreign shore, maybe because you're traveling on a trip, or because that person is just from a foreign land. And because this is a part of a kite, Venus is angling over to the moon, exalted with sitting beside Mars in your 7th house of committed relationship. So another indicator for some of you Scorpios, this is going to bring in a committed love story. But if you're with somebody, it will just solidify it. But how? It will make it more strong, the commitment and the connection, through lunar things. Now, I'm not going to scare you about lunar things. Can include pregnancy. So if your partner's a female, possibly that could mean a pregnancy, or it can also mean things to do, exalted moon in the 7th house with Mars, an exalted business partner, male, coming your way to support you in some kind of 9th house event or thing. 9th house is book publishing. If you're a Scorpio who wants to publish a book, you might get a great legal contract around the 20th, for example, because legal contracts and agreements are the 7th house. And the 9th house can also be about those things as well, more about judges and visas and yeah, discernment, like the judge's home. But yeah. And lastly, you know, finishing up the flow on the 20th, add 5 days, you kind of get that Vestal flame in the romance house and the creativity and the muse and the inspiration, and the house of pregnancy and children. So to give you a nutshell on that, be cautious if you don't want to have a baby. And if you want love, it looks really good for a new love story. And if you have love already, it deepens. Now, Hygeia, the goddess of healing, is in the house of you, and you are trying to keep your body whole and healed. And this can lend itself to meeting a really powerful healer. Mars is likely a male, but not always. Moon, who's going to help you heal your body. It could be any kind of healing. I don't know. It could be woo healing, or it could be like, you know, getting a brace for a broken bone or something. But just know that you've got this window of exquisite healing, as well as your body becomes more whole and you tend to some healing within your body or your body-mind complex around the 20th to the 25th. Sagittarius sun, moon, and rising sign. So we have the energy of Venus every year going through Cancer, which is your 8th house of other people's money. It's also bank loans and mortgages and grants and stipends and royalties and financial investments in the markets. If you're in the stock market at all, then this is really, really positive, because everyone got pummeled and trammeled, as I said, was coming. And basically, it could be that you're going to have a perk. Something will rebound, or you'll find an investment strategy or an idea. And if you do get an investment idea anytime between July 17th and August 11th, please grab it by the, grab it by the balls, take it, because it likely will be a very positive thing. And on the 20th of July, the moon is exalted in Taurus conjunct Mars in your 6th house of health and work stuff, health strategies and routines, work routines and habits, but also the workplace if you work in a collegiate, co-worker space, or your employees if you're an employer, or whatever, that kind of vibe. So this energy could look like a very exciting development in your workspace that favors you, coming through maybe secret negotiations or whispers from the back room, Venus in the 8th house, a woman, or a secret financial deal revolving your work, around your work, that nobody knows about, but you are putting into place, for example. So pay attention to the 20th of July. You do have support from the Vestal flame in the 4th house of home. You're tending the home fires, you're cooking at home, you're loving the home, you're burning some flame of devotion from the home. So if this is about work, you're doing a lot of stuff in the home to support this positive fruiting of something good, with that moon, a beautiful exalted moon, and Mars sitting there in your 6th house of workspace stuff. So that's the 20th of July, but it flows till the 25th. And Hygeia is healing things from yourself, undoing self-sabotaging 12th house stuff, where your addictions and your own self-defeating patterns sit. That's kind of good. And you could have dreams or intuitions or insights from meditation or something like that, that really support some deeper healing during this transit. I don't know if my head was in the video for the last, 6 signs, guys. I'm not looking at you because I'm looking at the chart. Oh. All righty, welcome to my world. Moving forward. Okay. Last but not least, but we're not getting there yet. Right, Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. So guys, this is Venus every year through your marriage house and business partners and audience, clients, and marketplace. So a lot of stuff in that 7th, right? And sometimes legal agreements, vows, and oaths that we make, with agreements with other people. So Venus is moving through your 7th house, and this is good for those Capricorns who are single, because this is like a once in a year transit. This is time, it's July 17th to August 11th, that you can bring a new love story into your life. The universe will offer you a new love story that has potential to become quite significant and monogamous and lasting and committed. Okay. And particularly if you're a single Capricorn, because there is this energy of the exalted moon on the 20th of July, conjunct Mars in your 5th house of romance, a very sexually passionate, exciting, very emotionally big energy could be happening here, with some kind of really important new love story developing. Now, Mars is cutting and eliminating, and the moon is motherhood and parenting. So sometimes for that combination, some of you Capricorns may be making a break or cutting away from a child, or they're cutting away from you, and it may be for really good reasons, like they're going off to school or they're moving out of the house at last. So that could happen around July 20th as well. Again, either one, all of those are possible. But I think because the kite is pointing at your 5th house, one of the things I will say is that romance and children are somehow important as a point of success, or a point of a peaking energy of some kind. And if you have a relationship and it's been having challenges, this can soften the relationship a bit and make it more enjoyable, for sure. Doesn't mean it'll last forever, because Venus's transit is short, but you may go into a peacekeeping mode, or a treaty of peace between you and your loved one, your sexual partner, between the 17th of July and August the 11th, if there has been any tension. Important women can show up in your life, whether they're for business, like business partners, or love life as well, when Venus transits here. Now, if you're an artistic Capricorn, there's a lot of inspiration when the muse gets this much energy at a tip of a kite. So pay attention to ideas you have or that others give you around creative projects that could be quite successful if they're seeded around the 20th of July. Hygeia is holding the bottom of the kite in your 11th house of good spirit, where there's a lot of luck. And so is the 5th house lucky. So for creatives, this could mean an ally, a friend as a benefactor, bring some healing balm to some of your creativity or something close to that. And you have the devotional flame of Vesta sitting in your 3rd house of your local environment, but also the online world. So you may be devoting some attention to your siblings or aunts, uncles, and cousins, or things you're doing in the neighborhood during that time. Now, how do you devote yourself to things in the neighborhood? I am not sure, but who knows, with the Hygeia and the 11th, you can get involved in some kind of community project and you're really digging in with high perseverance and devotional energy between the 20th of July and the 25th of July. Aquarius, sun, moon, rising sign. Well, we Aquarians, us Aquarians, when Venus goes through our 6th house, get really into pleasurable health routines. Like it just happens every year. What brings me great pleasure that can sustain my health, you know? So last year at this time, roughly, I was doing a lot of water stuff at the beach because I had torn a glute muscle and all I could do was to splash around in water. So, and that makes sense, right? Venus in Cancer. So think about why watery things are satisfying, where you might find your feelings are healing you by being in touch with your emotion and the softer side of yourself. Especially Aquarians, we're like Spock in Star Trek sometimes, and very mental energy. And now this is the opposite. So we're like McCoy now. We're like getting in touch with a feeling to heal it to feel it. You know, and we get emotional satisfaction in the work we're doing if we do this transit right, because the daily habits and work routines here can be pleasured up somehow, made to be more fun. I'll give you my hopeful example because it's the 17th of July and August 11th, I'll be traveling. So I'm bringing my like gimbal. It's a little portable thing, not my lighting kit, so I don't use them that much, but not all my big equipment, just this little gimbal and maybe my little lapel mic and maybe leaving my big heavy duty mic at home and making the work that I'm doing more enjoyable, just more kind of spontaneous and fun for you guys on YouTube, but other things I'm doing with video as well. So, I mean, hopefully that's not a pipe dream and I got that right, that's going to work. You know, that's a thought of my strategy. We shall see. And if you want to be in a relationship as an Aquarius and you're single, then Venus here is pointing to the possibility of collegiate co-worker space or meeting a love person in a working space or a karmic relationship as well coming in here. You do have a kite though, and that's the moon exalted in the 4th house of home, land, and real estate with Mars. Now that's an ending or cutting away or severing potentially of where you live, giving your notice to your landlord, putting your house up for sale. That will still be a good thing if that's what you're doing around the 20th of July. And because Venus is in a mutual reception to the moon in her sign of Taurus and Venus in the moon sign, whatever's going on will support your health, your healing, your work routines, and all of that. You know, I'm trying to make a story up for me. What if I find a new opportunity to rent a new place or move to a new place where I have more space and my office isn't in like, or, you know, and I feel better about my life because the office is in a separate room than my living room. I'm just making something up, but you'll see that there's that vibe there. I mean, Mars moving through Taurus in itself can mean renovating or constructing in the home, or moving the home as well. Now, the Vestal flame of devotion and perseverance and dedication is traveling through the money and resources house. And so between the Vestal flame trining Venus as she journeys on the 20th to the 25th of July through the 6th house, you're being very dedicated and very perseverant and very devotional towards some money-making endeavor, and you're putting the work in that you need to do, but you're doing it from a place of devotion rather than duty, so it feels good. And lastly, Hygeia is in the healing your 10th house of career. Well, we Aquarians have the South Node leaking energy there. We all know we have to change our style of work, maybe move towards something new. We're not sure what it is yet. We're in a transition, Aquarians. And now here's Hygeia healing that space of our public reputation and our career and our ambitions. So we got to know that something good is transiting through the sky during the 20th of July to the 25th to heal some of our uncertainty and our confusion around our actual most successful career direction. Yeah, we've been all going through that as Aquarius is at some level. Finally, is the old Pisces, last but not least crew, who are experiencing this flowing energy, because it is a water trine for you guys, of Venus moving through your 5th house of romance, of children, of play, of fun, of pleasure. Okay, just Venus likes it here. Venus is in the house of her joy, la joie de vivre. She's totally into play, fun, and pleasure. Yeah, you could overdo it. You might be like eating mac and cheese every day because it's a comfort food, right? But this is something you need to do every year when this happens. And this is the 17th, this time of July to August 11th. So you could just be like having the best sex ever, the most great food you've ever had, going out and eating, spa trips, massages, pedicures, leisure activities, fun with girlfriends, fun with sisters. This is what you're doing, Pisces. It's a nice time to be you. And you do have this energy of the moon exalted conjunct Mars around the 20th of July in your 3rd house of the local neighborhood, and things you could do, pubs, restaurants, bars, museums in that hood. Also your online world, also the house of siblings. So some of you Pisces are definitely having some fun with your sisters or your brothers, no doubt about it, during this window of July 20th to 25th, because it ebbs into a water trine at the end. And there's a vestal flame of devotion. Oh, and you could be learning something, Pisces, skills-based learning here. Mars exalted, Mars, moon exaltation in the 3rd. You may pick up a new direction of learning that you're totally jazzed about, and it's bringing you great pleasure and enjoyment and fun. All right. And then you have the vestal flame in the house of you. You're being devoted to what matters to you. You are actually tending a sacred flame in your body, your health, your sense of well-being. You're like tending the flame of your own wellness. And if you've been neglecting your wellness or your emotional and mental and physical wellness, you're going to pick it up a lot more now, because Hygeia, the goddess of healing and wellness herself, is loving up your ascendant, loving up that vestal flame in your 1st house between July 20th and 25th. And some of the love, it could be a trip coming from traveling to a foreign land, journeying to a foreign land, getting a faith healing. Yes, a faith healing. Yes, Hygeia in the 5th house is a faith healing energy, or finding yourself connected to some new belief or some new philosophy of life that really restores a sense of healing and wholeness to your well-being, like the universe is a friendly place, or nothing happens by accident, or everything is happening for me, not to me, making up some Hygeia healing belief structures that you may hold in the 9th house that are being reformed on July 20th to the 25th. For the most part, all I can say, what a good transit for you guys for well-being, mental, emotional, physical, fun, play, pleasure, and good times in the hood, or good times in a learning environment, or good times with your online reality. Alrighty. 3rd house stuff. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that I was half-assed in the camera for most of that. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm going to go out and get some sun and really enjoy the rest of my day. I'm recording this on July the 11th. You guys will get it on YouTube probably 3 days later. If you don't know, this Patreon community gets all my stuff 2 to 3 days ahead of time. For $5, you'll always get early access. So if that interests you, go check out my Patreon community below. There's lots of other perks from being in my Patreon community. So go see if it's the right thing for you. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video, which I think is going to be the big boom video. I think I really want to go ahead and tackle that one at least 2 weeks in advance. The big boom starts around July 27th, 28th, and it goes to about August the 5th, and it's a doozy. And I'm really wanting to sit down with that one and make that one a worthy video, but I have a feeling it could be really long. Could go like almost a couple hours if I dig deeply into the meaning of it for all signs. Oh, anyway, get ready for that one coming. And there'll be other videos along the way, but just know that one's definitely on my next to record list. All right, ciao. Thank you for listening. And I appreciate you guys. And like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. You guys know the drill. Bye-bye.